A man is found stabbed to death inside a modern glass office. The room is sealed from the inside, the windows are secured, and there is no weapon to be found. Thousands of miles away, a passenger boards a train moving through the Swiss Alps. He is surrounded by witnesses in a car with no exits and no stops, yet halfway through the journey, he is gone. In New York City, several people die of fatal internal ruptures at the same moment. They are in completely different locations, miles apart, with no physical attacker present when the clock strikes midnight. These events defy the basic laws of physics and spatial logic that we rely on to navigate the world. Our brains categorize them as impossible because they break the rules of reality as we understand them. Detective Elias Voss approaches these anomalies by rejecting the standard protocols of the scene. He assumes that the physical evidence left behind is often the least important part of the story. His methodology focuses on the missing variables. He searches for the specific, silent elements that should be present but are conspicuously absent from the frame. These impossible scenarios occur when a perpetrator identifies and exploits a specific cognitive blind spot in human perception. In the London case, the mystery relies on the environment. A victim is dead in a locked room, but the blade that killed him has vanished without leaving a trace. Most investigators look for a weapon that entered the room at the moment of the attack. They work within a narrow window of time centered on the discovery of the body. Voss looked further back in the timeline, focusing on the glass of iced whiskey the victim was drinking hours before he died. This timeline tracks the weapon's physical state. A thin blade, frozen inside an ice cube, was placed in the glass earlier, existing in a solid state until the strike. As it melted, the blade fell, returning to a liquid state, leaving the scene evidence-free. Impossibility is achieved when an attacker separates the arrival of a weapon from the strike. It exploits our natural tendency to view cause and effect as immediate, back-to-back events. The vanishing passenger on the Swiss train presents a different challenge. The suspect is contained within a moving car, with no physical escape route, yet he is nowhere to be found. Witnesses naturally assume the man's physical body must have exited the train. They look for ways he could have jumped or hidden in a compartment. This failure to see is a product of inattentional blindness. When the brain is focused on a specific task or a high-stress event, it fails to register objects or changes that are happening right in front of it. The suspect never left the car. He shed a highly detailed, brightly colored winter coat and hat to reveal a bland, gray outfit underneath. He essentially swapped a high-visibility identity for a completely unmemorable one. Because the witnesses were looking for the bright winter coat, the perpetrator sat among them invisible to their focused attention. Human memory relies on visual shortcuts like clothing and color rather than true identity. This disappearance is a failure of observation, not a failure of physics. The New York case involves victims dying simultaneously across several miles. Internal organs rupture without any sign of external trauma or a physical intruder. No single human can apply physical force in multiple locations at the exact same second. This creates a spatial impossibility that conventional investigative methods cannot bridge. Each victim shared a hidden vulnerability. They were all fitted with experimental heart monitors that could be accessed and adjusted remotely. A remote attacker triggered a synchronized signal overload. A command was sent across the network, reaching every device at exactly midnight. It forced the devices to overload the victims' hearts, causing internal failure. The digital signal leaves no physical trace. Remote technology has effectively replaced physical proximity. A weapon can be lethal without ever entering the physical space of the victim. These three cases rely on different mechanics: shifting physical states, the limits of human attention, and the reach of invisible networks. These events are the work of predators who understand the gaps in human psychology and the vulnerabilities of the systems we trust. Every seemingly unsolvable mystery follows a specific, logical sequence that becomes clear once you account for the variables you were trained to ignore. The ability to see through these illusions is a skill used to navigate any complex system. By understanding how a hidden variable can bypass a physical seal, like the ice in the glass room, you can identify similar invisible failures in a malfunctioning dataset or a stalled business strategy. When you encounter a problem that seems to have no solution, Stop looking at the most obvious, high-visibility data points. Look for the vacuum. Analyze the silent spaces and the information that should be there but isn't. Impossibility is just a temporary state of mind that ends the exact moment you learn how to look.